Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. Welcome to Raid Fusion Legends. Okay, we've got another Fragment Champion Fusion, whatever. They're basically the same thing coming up. I figured it's time just to do a bit of an update video on how to prep for a fusion. Yeah, my free-to-play is a great example of me always thinking into the future, just in case we get ourselves a juicy one. Now, honestly, the Halloween one for me so far, I'm kind of like, I'm not that fussed, yeah? We've had amazing fusions in the past. Someone said to me the other day, why do we always get trash fusions? It's a lie, we don't. Brogni, Brado, Kreela, Rotus, Sonic, Foley, Morley. Like, there's been some absolute godlike fusions. I don't think Vlad is going to sit up there with that table. They're all looking down at him. They're like, Vlad, fella, go and sit alongside Pixneal. I was like, what's her name? Go and sit with Pixneal. Maybe not quite as bad as that, but I don't see him being top class. Still, it doesn't mean that you stop thinking about your preparation, because you might decide not to go for Vlad or you might go for him, but it doesn't matter because the next one's just around the corner. And if you're still playing Raid at that point, you probably want to be ready for the next fusion that comes along. So what you can do is you can just be lucky, like me, get yourself G Fuel. I'm actually luckily sponsored by G Fuel, and I mean, sometimes it makes me do some crazy stuff. I lay on my grass with some G Fuel in front of me taking photos. It's a weird experience, but thank you to G Fuel for sponsoring my content, my channel. And if you guys want to get involved with some G Fuel, you can get 30% off this weekend using my promo code below with the link down below. It's an absolute treat. I got some red ooze venom, which is pretty damn cool. Anyway, let's get into the video. So if we're thinking about prepping for fusions, we just got to think about, right, what are the main things that they want us to do for all of these fusions? And honestly, a lot of it is just play the game. Yeah, a lot of it is beat up the dragon, beat up the Fire Knight. Yeah, all these type of different areas. So you need to consider to yourself, how do I achieve the amount of play time that they want me to do? Yeah, there's a number of areas. So let's start with the first one, and we're going to talk about that type of content where it's like just beat something up a number of times. So in these lulls like we've got right now, you should be fixing your teams. Yeah, you should be fixing your teams to be able to beat up the highest possible level of content. I've got a ton of videos about that stuff. I'm not going into that today, but you want to be trying to push towards level 20 as quickly as you can to get maximum reward for your energy. Okay? Reward for energy is so important when you're talking about fusions. And then let's just touch on energy as a kind of overriding topic. So gems equals energy. I don't spend any gems on these lulls at all. My free to play, I'm just capping my gems up as much as I can. That's one thing. So just save gems for fusion or fragment events, because that's really where you want to use them. We get plenty of energy throughout the day nowadays. Don't go like splurging all your gems during the week when we got these lulls. Understand that there's a number of ways to get energy in this game now. There's tons of ways. So one of the things that I do on these weekly quests, I save the Ascension and the Upgrade Champions right till the end of the week. Knowing that I've got these coming up for the fusion, I've kind of just had these ready to go. Monthly, you can do the same as well. There's a big energy pot here which you can just kind of hold on to. And just generally, you should be doing every single advanced quest every day. It's just easy stuff to do. Gives you energy on the day, yes, but it also kind of tops up resources, which are really important for a fusion event. So you get some energy in there. Now, we've got some new ways to get energy. Yeah, so the clan shop. Someone said to me, they've taken away the energy. Oh, my God. It's just on rotation. Yeah, on the clan shop, in the item pool, slot 2 rotates between 3-star chickens, which is trash, or 100 energy, which is actually okay. So you see here, I'm topping up my clan gold all the time. I'm not spending it. If I do spend it, it's on a cheeky couple of accessories because they're nice. Other than that, I'm saving it for fusions. And what does it mean? When this rotates back to energy down here, that's 1,000 energy for 1,000 clan gold. 1,000 energy is probably about half of what you're going to need to beat up one of the dungeons. Simple. Like, it's there just waiting. And you don't buy it all at the start of the fusion. You literally look to see where's your gaps, and then you just pick up a pack at a time, and then you kind of use that. So you're not splurging into your gems just yet, okay? We've got different resources here. We've also got different resources in the bazaar. So I buy the fragment every single day for Drexar, yeah? And I beat up a load of low-level trash teams like this every single day. Someone said to me, oh, it's getting harder here. It's not. It's exactly the same as it's been for the last 12 months. Yeah, there's a load of low-power teams. I'm still in Bronze 1, the trashiest of the arenas. But I just beat up the same level of teams every single day, get loads of gold bars, and then from the bazaar shop, I buy Drexar, nothing else. When it comes to a fusion, I can then pick up another shard, or in preparation, you might even pick up the shard. Like I could pick up the shard today. It's only on a 7-day cooldown. Means I could get another one. In fact, I'm going to do it. I'll get another one when it comes around to the next fusion. Okay? I've still got plenty of gold bars. Just make sure you've got enough to keep getting your Drexar. But then you can get another 300 energy from here when the fusion lands. It's not tons, but it's not terrible for 1,000 gold bars. So that's one area that's worth picking up your energy from. Now, clearly, some things just drop energy, and you need to just be aware of it. So, your daily login every other day, you get a pack which has got an energy release. Yeah, look how they're not used. Look how I've not just used them because I'm in a lull, right? So I've now got, what, 600 energy sitting in my inbox. By the time the fusion comes around, there'll be another 300 odd energy. Okay? So, I'm close to another 1,000 energy here. I've not touched any gems yet. By the time the kind of energy related quests and stuff come round, I'm going to have, what's that, like 2,500 energy just waiting before I touch gems. And then gems give me energy for refills as well. So energy is really important. It's one of the toughest things to manage when you're kind of coming around to this type of thing. But it definitely will give you a lot of efficiency as you go through the fusion. And then obviously with the fusions, you tend to get double uptime periods. So you'll have like do spider, but do dungeon divers at the same time. You want to make sure you're making use of those double ups when you actually get to the fusion events, so that you're only using one set of energy to do two things. And that's kind of how you get to be a bit more efficient. So energy is a big one. Next thing we're going to talk about is probably the hardest thing to do, certainly as a low spender in any fusion event. And that is Champion Chase and Summon Rush. Okay, there's always two events which are shard related for fusions. And you need to understand the difference between the two. So a Champion Chase is gaining points when you get any new champion on your account, right? And you get a lot of points for big boy ones, yeah? So for anything that you've got that you can summon, you'll get straight up just a ton of points, like 500 points for a legendary, 650 for a void legendary, was it 250 for an epic? So I didn't manage to get any of these on the last one. I literally just bummed out. I got really upset because of how Demithia went, and then I just kind of stopped doing it. I probably should have carried on and got Dur the Hungry, because that would have been a straight 250 points for the next event. But do not pull any of these champions outside of a fusion. Just don't do it. This is banking yourself points, which means it's saving you shards. That's all it is. So the thing which I have got myself ready for the next fusion is basically working on Razin stuff. So I've already got two of the epics, which I did actually on the Roic fusion. I pulled those then. But you see here, I've got the 4 rares ready to turn into epics for Razin. So that's 250 points per epic, 500 points. I can then fuse Razin on the day. That's another 500 points. That gives me 1,000 points, which I didn't have beforehand. That's probably a third of what I would need for when I actually get to do the champion chase in a fusion. Okay. I've also been working on my missions. And I know that when the fusion comes around, if I want to, I can get Arbiter. Now, that's not going to be relevant to everybody, but you can kind of use missions in bursts of time to your advantage. So even if I didn't have Arbiter up for grabs, just coming back actually a second to energy and stuff and gems, I can do a run of missions. I can do all of these missions, which has got tons of energy, gems, Yeah, more energy and gems. I will save the missions which are related to a dungeon for when that dungeon drops for the fusion. So I'm kind of doing two things at the same time. Yeah, and I'm basically going to have an inburst of gems and energy, and I will have a champion when it comes to the champion chase. So missions and stuff like that are actually really useful to use to your advantage. Don't just do them because you can do them. Think to yourself, when should I do them? Is it the right time? Okay, in terms of shards then and champion chase. So yeah, you can work towards fusions, yes. You could also buy up these two fellas from the bazaar and get yourself the fragments of those if you've got these two, which will give you another 250 out of a Broadmoor. And you can actually work towards Relic Keeper as well. I think multiple times actually. So I'm pretty sure I've already fused him. So if you wanted to, you could get yourself like a bunch of 250 points from getting these champions ready as well, if you wanted to. But there's other things. So in terms of my actual shards, obviously I save shards. Even though there's some good champions up for grabs this weekend, I've not pulled any single shard. I hit clan boss every single day. Yeah, make sure that I at least get max chest on Nightmare and Brutal, or I go for Ultra Nightmare, depends how much time I got. And most days, you'll get some sort of shard. Nice to get a book as well, actually. You'll get at least like one shard, unless you're unlucky if you're hitting Nightmare and Brutal each day. And if you're hitting Ultra Nightmare, you'll almost definitely get a shard every single day. Okay, so make sure you do it. It tops your shards and that up pretty nicely. And the other area which, through the month, you think about it, we have a fusion every single month. I'm now smacking up, clearing normal Doom Tower, cleared normal Doom Tower for the first time here. But you just want to work your way up as high as you can in Doom Tower. It will give you energy, shards now and then, just resources to further develop your accounts. And I think I'm going to try, I could probably get this energy pack when we do the next fusion as well, if it falls in line. So just by killing the first boss on normal. So it just kind of gives you a few extra Brucey bonuses as long as you're doing the Doom Tower stuff. So the other thing you can do with shards, make sure you're checking the marketplace. Pick up every mystery shard that you see. Okay? It's just going to boost your chance on things like Champion Chase and Summon Rush, where you've only got a few points left to go. You don't want to burn another big boy shard. You can actually just save up some of the different resources. It's also worth checking out, each event that drops, even if you don't feel like you want to burn resources. So I'm definitely not doing the spider one. I don't have any fragments for any of these champions. But if there was like an ancient shard in here, I might just pick it up. Yeah, so the tag team tournament's a good example of one that pretty much anybody can get this shard on, an energy pack, some chicken stuff. Yeah, pretty much anybody can do it if they just hit their daily hits. I've been doing my daily hits, nothing more than that, and I'm going to pick up, I think, to this ancient shard. So it's pretty easy going stuff, and most tournaments have either a shard or a book as one of the kind of main prizes. So you're just trying to make sure that you're keeping abreast of what's going on, what is actually in the mix for opportunity. And don't get kind of sucked in by something like this, where it's like, I might get myself to a legendary tome today, but I've wasted all of my resources, which would have been good for the fusion. And you'll still get a Summon Rush event during the fusion anyway. So the same resources that you just burnt, you would get not only the same stuff here, you will also get a shot at a new champion, new legendary champion. So just make sure you're keeping track on it. At what point, absolutely everyone should pick up an Ancient Shard on a Dungeon Divers event, because it's just playing the game. Dungeon Divers is literally playing the game, and I will complete this one no sweat today. So that is shards. Now, you just need to control the exact amount that's required for the different events, and do the bare minimum to get yourself through to the fragments or whatever it is for the fusions. Don't just burn all your shards. It's hard. This is the hardest thing to do, because the natural reaction is I just want to keep going. But you've got to do what you can to not kind of pull the lever of just wasting all of your stuff. Okay, so the next big ticket one, and I'd say probably the toughest outside of shards, is champion training events. There's always a long, grindy champion training event, which is tough to do, okay? And I mean, if you look at my account, I've been ready to 6-star Cold Heart probably for like 2 weeks on the free-to-play. And I've got all of the food ready to go. And I've also been leveling up a bunch more food. Yeah, so I'm just leveling it up, getting it ready to go, so that when the next champion training for a fusion pops, I just get a bump load of points straight away. They're good to go. And I'm also saving up at the same time all of my chickens that I just pick up through events, through doing my missions. I've got a buttload of chickens here. Look at this. Free to play, doing nothing weird. I've just got a boatload of chickens ready to go, which means that I'm probably able to actually get 2 6-stars as soon as I want to with all this extra resource that I'm going to have. So just make sure that you're getting yourself in the right place. Again, on these lulls, if you're not doing the stuff for the fragments right now, which I'm not in the free-to-play, it's completely pointless to me. So I pulled myself out of that, forget that event's even on, and I'm just grinding champion food. Yeah, doing the dungeon divers at the same time, grinding food, because champion training is really tough. It's a really, really tough one to max out. One of the main things that people forget to do, which you should do, is when you get someone up to 5-star as food during a champion training event, throw some brews into them so you get the benefit of leveling them up. You get a lot more benefit from leveling someone up than you do just converting someone to like a 6-star. Yeah, so anyone like this that's just food will take a few levels up through brews, and then they'll be good to go. The other thing which I do, like on a daily basis, let me just move some stuff out. Basically, anyone that I bring in that's a level 1, I will just make level 2 with the tavern. I use the tavern to get myself to the level 2 stuff. So I do my 3 summon champions each day. Hope that you get uncommons, because uncommons are way better. Like, a rare is way better than an uncommon, and an uncommon is way better than a common, because it just saves time and effort and energy and resources. Yeah, so you're kind of hoping for as high a rank as you can get. But if I do get a bunch of uncommons, which you will do, you see here, I don't really have any on my account. All I do is I feed 3 more uncommons into them with 1 brew, and then I upgrade their rank. So I do all of the uncommon ranking up in the tavern, and then from there onwards, I take them to dungeons. So it just kind of helps you with your food grind. I've got tons of brews. I've got all these brews. They just build up. These are ready for champion training event as well. Don't waste any of those as I'm kind of going through the various kind of lulls of time. So the last thing that I want to talk about is silver. And silver's one of the toughest ththings to manage in the game, I think, certainly for a newerish player or someone who's lower spend, because you just find, like, I got myself up to nearly 5 million here. I could level 2 pieces of gear and that's all done. I could level 1 piece if I'm unlucky and it's all done. So silver management is really hard, because there's going to be at least 2 artifact leveling events as part of a fusion. So you need to be sitting on silver, or you need a way to gather silver in that time. So again, I'm in a lull right now. I'll be farming up my campaign, farming up food, and I'll be farming stage 12-3 because it's my best return for silver versus energy. Okay, and that's crucial. You want to be making sure that you pick up the silver through selling the shield. Shields give you more silver than anything else, and these different levels, it's absolutely crucial. This is where you spend your time. So you're doing 3 things. I'm doing 3 things right now. I'm building silver up, I'm building up food, and I'm doing things like my dungeon divers events, which are kind of giving me more resources towards shards or energy or books or whatever. So you can kind of see how everything in these lulls are coming together to get me ready for the next fusion. And if you're unlucky, you get one of these crappy 3-star ones, 5k silver. If you're lucky, you get yourself a big boy one, 20k silver. But it's the best way to spend your energy at this point to do a number of things: food, silver, and a couple of events at the same time. If you are fine for food and you're not going to be worried about that at all, then the best place to grind silver is actually Spider. But you need to be at a reasonable level of Spider. So I'm also in stage 17, comfortably on this account. I could probably push it up as soon as I get my Cold Heart done. Maybe I could push it up anyway, honestly. But anyway, I'm farming up 17. This will give me 4 to 6-star gear. And per energy, it's the best place in the game to farm up silver. So I could grow my silver way quicker in here than in dungeon, any other dungeon, and in campaign as well. Way quicker. So that's another area that you can kind of just boost your silver coffers. And equally, you could just go ahead, watch one of my gear cleanse videos, but you could just go ahead and cleanse the artifacts that you've already got that are not good. Yeah, so if I got anything here which I'm not going to keep, just literally get rid of it now instead of kind of keeping it for later to do. So gear cleansing is really crucial to get your silver to a good place. And the other thing I do is you kind of take a look at my account. Most stuff's pretty maxed out on most of my main champions, but I've recently done a re-gear for Geo, for Magnar, for a few of them actually. Who else did I do it for? Apothecary. Yeah, so I just changed a fair amount of gear around to try and improve my clan boss stuff. And you'll see here, I've got some bits that are still sitting at level 12. And all I'm doing, because I need to upgrade 4 pieces a day as part of the missions, I literally will just go on and take it up a level or 2 levels, depending on how lucky I get with the upgrades. Even to upgrade 1 level, to go and make a cup of tea and come back the way Raid does it in its basic form. It's like that. Raid, speed up the leveling of gear, please. Every other third-party tool does it 10 times quicker than this. But you see how quickly you burn your silver even doing this. But there you go. So I've done my quest. That's all I'm doing. So no more gear gets upgraded in these lulls. I just do enough to do my quests, and then I save the silver for the fusion event, because silver is going to be one of my big stumbling blocks. Albeit remembering that once you're going into that kind of fusion mode, you're doing a lot of grinding of dungeons and farming anyway. So, you're using all of these extra resources that you've currently saved to throw into dungeons and stuff. So your silver naturally kind of upgrades during that time, but still, it can be tough. The other big silver area is the forge. Now, you see what I'm doing here? I'm not forging anything at all until a clan v clan tournament hits. When that hits, it gives me a ton of points. I forge up stuff which I actually want to keep, but I also then forge all of these low-level bits. Cost me 1,000 to forge, and I sell it for minimum 8,000. That's the worst case, yeah? Sell it off, and that only happens during clan v clan tournaments. I get my points in, but I also get a boatload of silver rock home and get like a few million, 5 or 6 million quite often during a clan v clan tournament, which will land just before the next fusion. So don't be burning it all during the week. Wait for clan v clan tournaments. Get yourself some points for that. And then also get yourself a good old hit of silver to help you through a fusion. So that for me is like the main areas. You've got energy control and saving. You've got shard saving and champion saving for pulling during a fusion. And you've got silver control. Trying not to burn all your silver outside of a fusion event or a fragment summon event. And then there's champion training, getting those champions ready to be developed for when the next fusion lands. If you can try and build towards that each time, you've got a shot at any fusion that lands. And the cool thing right now, in a way, is that not every fusion's brilliant, right? So if I decide on my free-to-play, you know what, Vlad's just not for me, I'll just keep a load of those resources over for the next month, because I know that there will be another Brogni or Brago or someone like that where I'm just kind of like, damn, this is the game changer. This is the one that's going to change my account. Vlad might be great for you. You might be looking at him thinking, that's perfect, that's what I need. Personally, on the free-to-play right now, I've got a Leech champion already. I've got a Nuka already. I can't see where Vlad would even play on my free-to-play account right now. Whereas, so probably I will be rolling over for the next fusion, but it still doesn't stop me continuing to get ready. Because when I see one that I want to absolutely be able to nail it and not think, oh, wow, what the hell am I going to do? So there you go, guys. That's the fusion prep in a nutshell. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.